Paul, what did you do, man?
Oh
What
man, what is going
what,
on? Somebody's
what do
doorbell.
you got?
What
Hang on a
is it?
second. Let's see who's at the door here. Hang on.
What's going
No!
on, guys?
What's up, David?
How y'all doing?
We're doing all right, man.
Great.
Sorry, I wouldn't answer the door quick enough, so I had to ring twice.
Right.
You didn't answer.
Well, some gags work sometimes. All right, man. Hey, David, man, I'm excited that you got a chance to stop by. Hey, for those who are watching right now, we're real excited to welcome David Sanchez, storied cover artist, variant cover artist. You've seen his work on all kinds of titles. My first exposure to him was Something is Killing the Children. He did a stunning rendition of Erica Slaughter, and I'd never seen anything like it. And then I've seen his work. I've seen you do a rendition of Tupac for another title, and then man, it's gone on from there. So hey, we're excited to have him with us. So David, hey, thanks so much for being here, man, for stopping by.
Thank you guys for having me on. I've heard a lot of great things, and just grateful to be here. I'm excited.
Awesome, man. So what, David? What are you working on right now? What do you have going on?
So right now, we're gearing up for New York Comic Con. New York Comic Con is next month in October, and right now I'm in the process of. I'll be releasing 7 new exclusives for that show alone. The first time I've ever been to this show. It's going to be. I've been trying to get into this show for the past 3-4 years, basically since I've started, and it's never worked out. But I, with the blessing of God, I was able to have the opportunity to be a part of it this year with a great group of people, and those people that I'll mention here soon are allowed me to actually produce for you guys 7 new exclusives that I'll be releasing leading up to the show. And very limited quantities of these products. I mean, they're going to be this is some of the hardest detailed work I've done in a while. And, I just hope you guys enjoy it, and can't wait to share everything.
Man, wow. Okay. So wait, so I just want to get that. So 7 unique and different exclusives for this one convention.
Yeah, that's the first time I've done anything like that. I usually am able to squeak by with one per show. With the way I draw right now, and I'm slowly progressing as I get further in my career. Again, I've only been doing this for about 4 years. Prior to that, I was working in construction. And I was also working in the dealership aspect of it. So I really didn't have to worry about deadlines and stuff like that. So as time went on and as time progresses, I've gotten a little quicker. I've been, obviously I've had some run-ins with deadlines in the past, but I've been able to actually be a lot more cognizant and a lot more appreciative of that. And so I'm happy to say that this next series of weeks that are coming as we get closer to New York, you guys will see why I've been so quiet and haven't posted much lately. So.
Wow. Okay.
So how was it meeting Paul Comics at Dallas Fan Expo?
Oh God, here we go.
It was great. I mean, that show was by far the quickest show I've ever been to. But it made it left such an impact on me and such an impression. I mean, I was lucky enough to be there with CBCS. I mean, that alone is a blessing in itself. But I was also able to see a lot of friends, catch up with some familiar faces, Paul being one of them, and then just be able to show that the time I put into all these pieces and the process and everything. It made me feel good that my time away from my family to draw for you guys wasn't in vain. So it's again, I'm grateful to everyone that stopped by that day, and I'm even more grateful that I was able to actually get to have a successful day. For just one day, it made it made up for not being there for the whole weekend. So it was a great
Meeting
weekend
Paul, you
altogether.
were like, that was it, right? That was
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. So,
Meeting
so,
everybody was awesome.
so as I'm looking at your Facebook page, I see a Mandalorian, a Din Djarin variant sketch cover. Is that one of the New York ones?
That was one of the New York ones from last year. I've done over the course of the past couple years, I've had the opportunity to draw for New York Comic Con, but I've not been able to make it there in person.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
that's usually, and it never fails. As we get close to the holidays, a lot of things come up, and of course, my family's everything to me. So I usually will try my hardest to be there, but if I can't be there, at least my artwork can be there in some way, shape, or form. So
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So I've got a graphic here. I'm gonna pull up. I think this is the 24 schedule. I think here I'm gonna drop this up here and see if okay, this is it, right?
yes. Hmm.
Okay. So do you want to? Okay, so you've got. Okay, so you just did Las Vegas Comic Con. You've got New York,
Sure.
obviously. Man, that is so close. And then right after that, you have State Con, and then
Yeah,
Rhode Island Comic Con, right?
I don't know if you can call my manager, but he did not schedule me appropriately. I'll tell you that much. I mean, which I don't have a manager. I did that to myself on accident. So I had some fun gearing up towards the end of the year. That when these opportunities came, I just said yes
Yeah.
to as many as I could. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to draw for everybody. And to those that do see this and that did reach out and offer me opportunities for New York Comic Con, please forgive me. I wish I could have drawn for you. I can only do so much in the time that
Oh
I
yeah,
had, but
right.
yeah. Uh,
I'm super honored and grateful that you guys reached out. It's just unfortunately most of the stuff that I was reached out to about was already something I had agreed to, and I didn't feel right taking on the same project for two different stores. So
oh man, yeah. Hey, I totally. I think people understand.
yeah,
I'm gonna flash a couple of images, and again, these are just a couple that I pulled from I think from Facebook.
mhm.
I didn't go to Instagram for them, but I was just gonna see if you wanted to tell us just a little bit about each of these. I know your time with us is short tonight, so but I was just gonna see if you wanted to share
Yeah,
about these. So this one's pretty
Oh, that's a
fun.
nice
This is,
cover.
yeah. That was one project that I had been reached out to by from my friends and family at Capcom, which is Capture Collectibles and No Mas Comics. They they presented me with this opportunity to draw 50 Cent for a project that had not been released yet at the time,
mm,
and I personally had honestly I was against it at first because I wanted to focus on something else that was not portrait based, but I just felt like it was a great opportunity, something that I could really show my grit and my ability that I can draw textures, I can draw skin, I can draw, just basically capitalize on my current style. And thankfully it worked out. It was an opportunity they gave me. I was able to go visit with them at C2E2, and
mm,
I didn't even get there within I think it was within 40 minutes of me being there, probably 30 minutes, that book was almost sold out.
So,
Um, and
wow.
I didn't even get to pull out my stuff out of my suitcase that I normally would bring out to the show. I was already like, here's like 30 remarks you got to do. Here's all this. Here's signatures.
Mm,
Here's all this. And I'm like,
that's you
"Ooh."
arriving to the table. You already have that.
Yeah. Which I'm hoping and praying that that's the same case for New York because I had a blast doing that for everybody at Chicago in Chicago. So this book was definitely one that brought me a lot more exposure than I'm used to. But it was definitely fun to actually see that my style and everything was sought after. So it was definitely a great project,
Yeah,
one
you
that
know,
I would do again.
this one. I like it.
That yeah, that's fantastic, man. And hey, for those who are seeing this and like it, he's done other pop culture figures. I guess well, no, other rap artists, all kinds of other folks. I'm just showing a couple of them, so I need to make sure and check him out on. See, David, what's your preferred social media platform? Is it Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram is the best one for me. That's usually, I mean, that's usually how everybody gets a hold of me is through there. Facebook is fine, but I generally use Facebook just to keep up with friends and family and stuff. And
Right, right.
um, I'll post stuff here and there. But honestly, I'm not really a big social media guy. I really need to be, but I'm I'm working on that as time gets going. But I have a
Will you
great
do
team.
like other artists and like go live and draw?
I
Because like
used to.
Moko does that, and a couple of them do that. But
Well,
I used to, but I was so slow at drawing that people would just be bored to tears
they're
with
bored.
watching me draw the same cheek or like eyeball or weapon or whatever I was working on at the time.
Oh, I got you.
will y'all make
So,
sure and check him out? He's D Sanchez Artist on Instagram. I'm going to show two more quick pictures. This one, tell me about I didn't recognize this character, but this is stunning right here.
I'm glad you
This
picked that one. This was something that I felt like it was my opportunity because to actually do something a little bit different out of the norm from what I'm used to doing. And my very close friend, Mike Henson, he is the proud owner of Comic Shield as well as Verified Grade. He also is the writer creator of the Disputed Territory, and he's actually the person that I drew my second cover ever in my career. He was actually the person I drew it for, and he had this concept in mind that I thought was very interesting. Obviously, it's very iconic when you look at who she is portraying in that sense. But he had this idea for a character named Mortimer, and every concept that I was given from them, it really just kind of didn't sit with me in a way that I showed interest in it. When I came up with this idea of drawing a female version of the character, I was like, well, I have the perfect person to work with. And just like with the Something's Killing the Children that you saw, I
Yeah.
work with cosplay artists and I work with models in reference to all my projects that require the help of that character.
Yeah.
And so I was able to work with Georgia on this one. She is a brilliant model and artist in the UK, and she's one of the nicest people I've ever come across. I've worked with some nice people. Katie, obviously, who's my something, Erica Slaughter from Something's Killing Children. But she was, I gave her the idea of what we were doing, and she immediately took it and ran with it. And this is what we developed together. And with the help of Sean Lee, who is a good friend and one of the cooler colors I've worked with, we were able to put something together that we thought would catch some eyes, and it did. It really did. I was really grateful that the turnout at Dallas and at Vegas, that everybody's really receptive to this.
Wow. Yeah, I mean this is a stunning piece right here. And I know Tape Prime asks what medium are examples in the pieces we're seeing and what's your preferred medium. I'll real quick, I will drop in though. David does something really cool. At least I've seen it done on some of your posts, like on Facebook. He lists details about the different pieces of artwork, like what he used, what mediums he used, and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But if there's anything you want to share with us about the medium for this one.
Well, for this one, it was primarily done. All my pieces are primarily done in charcoal and graphite. My preferred brand is General Pencil Company for all my charcoals. I use mechanical pencils, actually pencils that are used for blueprints and schematics and stuff like that. So graphing. I use mechanicals for all my fine details and things of that nature, and then I use for highlights and stuff like that. I'll use markers or Poscas or something interesting, like the Ghost Rider that was mentioned earlier, that was drawn primarily in pastel and in Posca. So
Mhm.
it's dry mediums are really the way I like to go. I'm wanting to focus on other things like airbrushing or or oil painting, but luckily when you have a colorist that understands you and understands your style, you want to hold on to them because they generally make your artwork. They see what you can't physically put out on paper, and they translate everything that you're trying to convey in the best form possible. So the book that I believe you have, right, Paul?
Yes, sir.
That book is the pencil version of this one. Um,
I'm
so
gonna,
as you
I'm gonna
can
need a
tell,
remark on this, Mr. Dave.
I got you. And so with that one, you can tell the differences in styles and technique and things of that nature. But my primary focus is usually charcoal graphite. That's usually what you'll see. I wish I was as good as coloring than as most. But when you have somebody like Sean in your corner helping you, uh, it makes it very tough to want to use a different medium.
Yeah, yeah. Man, wow, that's fantastic work. Hey, I know you got to head out, but I
Hmm.
just want to look at one more. This is,
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of this character here. So tell us that you said you had mentioned earlier that this
Oh
is
wow.
from last
Damn.
year. Or tell us a little bit about this one here.
Man, look at the detail on that.
So this one
Yeah.
was actually one of the funner pieces and actually the most stressful pieces I've worked on. Um, I usually, like I was mentioning earlier, I usually will do a series of sketches for New York Comic Con and try to have my work there in some way or form. So the comic mint and I usually do something together, and we'll draw a series of sketches, as many as I can get done in
Mm.
time for the show. And this was one of those pieces from last year. So we did a series of characters: Ray, um, Mandalorian, Yoda, uh, Thrawn. I mean, we did a lot, and we try to do it every year. But this year, I wanted to go a little bit bigger, and I saw the opportunity because these blanks are hard to find. They are expensive and they are hard to find.
Yeah.
$30 usually, roughly for a blank, which I'm used to paying like $5, $6. So
Yeah.
$30 is a lot for a blank. And when you find those blanks, you want to treat them with the utmost respect and you want to do something different. So I tried to draw over the trade dress, which, if you are familiar with the blank, there's a card stock, and then when they use the trade dress, it's a lot smoother than the actual rest of the book. So
Right.
I actually physically had to paint over that area where his head is covering
Mm.
and give it still that that look and feel as if I was drawing on regular paper. So
That is, I mean, the detail you have on
Mm.
there. That's
I
nice.
thank you.
know.
Thank you.
Well,
No,
that's cool. Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
appreciate it. That was one of the most I know the person that owns that piece right now, and I am tempted to accidentally take it home with me once I go over and hang out with him. So
I like the Ghost Rider one though. That by far is my
Oh,
favorite.
yeah, the Ghost
well,
Rider is fun. I thought I had a lot more of those blanks, but I guess I don't. I'm out of those blanks, unfortunately. But I can try to find it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the detail on
well,
this.
I think you've definitely impressed some folks here. And man, hey, thanks again. I just from the very beginning, you've been because I got a chance to meet you very briefly in
At
passing at
that
a
next one.
card show at
He
the
was that
Oh,
guy
it
Dallas
who was
was
show,
the
standing.
and
Dallas
That
Card
guy who
Show.
was standing in line
no,
when
no,
I.
no, it was with Brad Benefield.
Oh, that was at the in Houston.
Yeah,
it was a memorabilia show. It's Great
yeah,
Southwest or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
that's where you saw. Remembered me. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
I was just super impressed with your humility, your approachability, and just it's so cool to see mega talented artists who are just super super cool and
I'm
so
I'm
what
just
they're
a regular person, man, that likes to draw. So if even if you come to the booth, if you're ever at a show where I'm at, I don't expect anything. Conversation is enough for me. So
I gotta ask you. So when so Yahweh, me, and who that a lot of these guys know. So we went over to your booth. They had that book. They're like, hey, this guy could do this book. You need to get this. This is selling out quick. And I'm like, okay, guys, I don't know what it is. So we go over there, and they're actually getting their stuff, getting in line, getting ready to get their stuff signed. He stops and says, I know you, and just points at me. And I'm looking back at the line, and I'm like, me? And he's like, yes, I know who you are. I was just so.
No, it was like I said earlier when we were in the green room. I'm very much familiar with faces. Like I'll remember you guys even more now. But it's like names and stuff like that. They are hard for me. I just.
Oh yeah.
It's always.
So for everybody watching, I just shared David's Instagram in the chat. So make sure that you go give him a follow. There's a lot more details about this, a lot more projects he's done. He's got a bunch of covers coming down the pipe, a big announcement on some stuff he's working on coming down the pipe. So we make sure and keep up with his work. His star is absolutely on the rise. And we're so grateful that he was able to stop by for a few minutes and hang out with us. David, thank you so much, sir. All right, you have a good rest of the night, okay?
Take care, guys.
It means a lot, man. That you came through. Of course. Appreciate it so much.
Anytime, brother.
You're welcome back anytime.
I'm gonna try, man. Like I said, I promise I wasn't. I apologize sincerely. I wasn't able to come those couple weeks, but
you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
We're excited to spend tonight and hang out for a few minutes. All right, take care, David.
Take care.
We'll see you. All right.